very much, Yona. That's beautiful. Thank you. I'm touched. Thank you. Yes, it's birthday today. So I'm receiving so many messages. I read all of them, and it really touches my heart. This is this moment when the other person decide to say, okay, let's take a moment and wish that person, well, just send good wishes to that person. And even people, I can read the messages in many different languages. So I do not even understand what is written. But this is just, you can guess, you can feel at a distance, feel the intention of the other person who is actually at, I don't know how many thousands of kilometers away. And there is this intention, yeah, to wish good. Yes. Thank you, Margit. I also read all of your messages on the different places you send them today. So thank you very much. I read all of them. All of them are very special to me. Okay. So it's important for you to know. Yeah. So today, Dharma talk. Uh, I see the ball over there, forgotten on the shelf, to officially start the session. So let's do without any ball and just bow, please. So we are supposed to sit in meditation, sitting, being guided. We sit, we still the body, we put it at rest. We stop the movement, the doing. We sit, we invite mindfulness. We bring back the attention into the body. Can we just sit? for a moment. You can invite ease. Why do we meditate? For calmness. Can we force calmness to come? Can we wish calmness to be there? Is it an act of will? I should be calm. Calmness arises out of release, not wanting. So we sit there and we are invited to watch. What's happening? We want to sit, invite calmness to reduce suffering, and yet what's bubbling up? Maybe the desire to do something else, to have a cup of tea, of coffee, being comfy, and read a book instead, or watch the last whatever series, getting entertained. So this is a call for sensual pleasures. Even the pleasure of the mind, being intellectually entertained. Reading a good book for imagination, fiction, instead of just sitting. Close our eyes, our senses, and we witness, watch what's bubbling up. Maybe awareness is not sharp. Maybe the mind is numb. There is tiredness, sloth and torpor, the unwillingness to watch. The mind goes into dreaming, sloth and torpor, wanting to sleep, boredom. All right, another hindrance for sitting meditation. What's hindering us in just sitting? Why is calmness not coming? Just watch. Maybe ill will is there, remembering what someone did to you, something not pleasant, and then the wish to maybe some resentment towards that person or towards yourself. Maybe it's stronger, it's the wish to get revenge, to do the same to that person, the fire of anger. But you are just sitting there, yet the mind brings up those stories and narratives about the past, what happened to you, and your past actions can the memories of your past actions can bring remorse and restlessness, nervosity, anxiety, just some memories of what was done to someone. Body sit still, but the mind, the heart is agitated by remorse, past actions that might have happened 20 years ago, yet they resurface. The body is sitting, there is nowhere to go, nothing to do. We watch. Awareness of what's there. maybe doubt and confusion. What should I do? What do I have to watch? How can I observe? What should I observe? Maybe this is not the right path for me. Maybe this is not the right master for me or the right method. I think I should do something else, something more efficient, something different, something that works. Not that. Just sitting will bring me nowhere. I'm a person who is a doer. I do things. To get that, to be more calm, I should do something else than just sitting and watching. Maybe I should get private lessons. So it's skeptical doubt, confusion, not knowing what to do. We sit in meditation and develop mindfulness of breathing or the four foundations of mindfulness in order to refine the mind, train the mind, so that you are able to recognize its content, let's say its mood, attitude, what's there. Okay, so I've just announced the 5 hindrances. 5 hindrances to concentration and to clear seeing. So of course they look like 5 very sharp categories, but the feeling of them, you have to learn how do you feel when they are there. Why you cannot just sit for 1 hour or I don't know how many minutes, just doing nothing and yet being contented. Not demanding. And if they are there, what do I do with them, right? Release. How do I release? mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of the Dharma, mindfulness of the mind states, mindfulness of feelings. 4 foundations of mindfulness to be developed, cultivated, refining the mind, and therefore knowing what's there even when the body is still. Learn how to recognize them, those 5 hindrances. So today I will give I would use a text from the Samyutta Nikaya. I don't know. This is in the great book for the reference, discourse number 46, and the Buddha gives actually simile for each of the hindrances. And he said for the first one, so the order doesn't matter. So I say number 1, number 2, but yeah, of course, it doesn't matter. But he's addressing to some Brahmin. And well, what the sutta says is that Brahmin, when one dwells with a mind obsessed by sensual lust, is talking about sensual pleasures, overwhelmed by sensual lust, and one does not understand as it really is the escape from arising sensual lust. On that occasion, one neither knows nor sees as it really is one's own good, or the good of others, or the good of both. So that means that when desire for sensual pleasures is there, we do not really see what is our own good, what's the good for others, or for both. All right, and that means that I've illustrated for just sitting meditation as the hindrances, but those hindrances you have also to learn how to see them in daily life. All right? Because this is what will, let's say, prevent you to speak, do, act, and think mindfully and for your own good and the good of others. All right, and he gives a simile, and this is for sensual lust. He said that suppose, so imagine that there is a bowl of water mixed with different colored dyes. And he said, if a man with a good sight were to examine his own facial reflection in it, he would neither know nor see it as it really is. So imagine a bowl of water, of course, and I don't know, you put blue dye on it, right? And you look at your reflection. And so you might think that you have a blue face, but this is not the reality. So this is the same when you have some sensual lust in the mind. You do not see things as they really are, right? And then he says the same for ill will, and there is another simile. And he said that imagine for ill will, imagine a bowl of water, and you put it on top of fire pit. Then the water start boiling and bubbling, right? And then you watch your face, and the reflection, if any, of course, will be distorted. So you won't see, the face, your face as it really is. Again, distortion of reality, not clear seeing. So it's lack of, in another sutta I say that it's the cause for lack of knowledge and vision. And then again he talks about a mind obsessed by sloth and torpor. So when you're very lack of energy, very tired, boredom is there, just want to sleep. And then there is another simile that I like very much. It gives you an idea of how reality might be distorted. It's again image of the bowl, simile of the bowl, water, and then you put plants and algae in that. Okay, and then you watch your face, how distorted the reflection will be in comparison with a very neat, flat, untainted mirror, right? And for the restlessness and remorse hindrance, and you say, okay, take a bowl of water and there is some wind, so it's steered by the wind, and there is ripples and swirls, some wavelets, and then you watch your face. So again, distorted. For the mind obsessed by doubt, you say, okay, take a bowl of water as a simile, and the water is turbid, unsettled, muddy, placed in the dark. Watch your face. Do you see it as you would see it for in front of a perfect, very nice mirror? No. So when you start meditation, or when you are in sitting meditation, I invite you to look at those 5 aspects of the mind, to know why you cannot really settle the mind, let's say. All right, first step. So know the 5 hindrances, and yeah. And it gives many ways, many antidotes against all these 5 hindrances. Here he says, develops the enlightenment factor of mindfulness. So, yeah. And he says that with mindfulness, you know and see things as they really are. So it's quite a sentence that is often used in the suttas. what does it mean? So I do not want to really give meaning for you. This is what you have to, let's say, discover or see directly when you develop mindfulness, when you realize when those hindrances are there, when they are released. Let's say, what's the difference of quality in your mind, in the way you perceive objects arising and passing away. I would say that it knows and see things as they really are. That means that maybe colored, tainted, characterized by the three characteristics of existence that are impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and non-self. And he said also develop the enlightenment factor of equanimity. This is the causes of knowledge and vision in that Sutta. All right. So that's the advice for today, to know about these 5 hindrances, to know how to recognize them in sitting meditation, in daily life, to recognize the quality of your awareness, mindfulness when they are there, and when they are released, they are gone. And this is also why I invite you to not only develop mindfulness on sitting meditation, but in the 4 postures, right? In sitting, in standing, in walking, and in lying down. And at every moment of your day, every movement, I would say every breath, if you choose the breath as an object of meditation. We think that developing this kind of refinement of attention will be something difficult or complicated to implement in our daily life, right? In our Western way of life, in our busy life. Where do I place mindfulness? Formal practice, yes. When you have time, you do walking meditation in your corridor, in your garden. Very slowly, very mindful. But hard to do that when there are kids around, where it's time to go to work, when you are at a grocery store. Well, same, right? Extending limb, picking up a peach, putting it into the basket, saying peach, peach, peach. Just sing, or perception of peach. If there is presence of greed, or if the mind starts to proliferate around making a dessert with the peach and so on. Then you will know almost the training can be done throughout the day. No need for more time. For more time. Doing the laundry. Same. Burning. Moving. Seeing. Moving. Seeing. And so on. How many times per day you sit and you stand? It's just that. Sitting, body sitting, form standing, moving from place A to place B, desire to get something, to eat, to drink, to transform, to change, resistance, aversion in the mind. Why do you develop such sensitivity? Because you know what is there. And when you know what's there, then the fact to realize it, it can be enough to be released, to be dissolved, or you can know the causes and conditions of the appearance of such, for example, mind state, and then you are able to release. It's not doing good, okay, let go, release. Feel the effect of the release, and then keep going. If you do not know what's there, then everything will appear as random, unfair, this and that, him against me, my choices, your choices, confrontation, problems, challenges. If you stay superficial, then it would be very difficult to know the roots of your anxiety and to be able to release. Or if you are not if the release doesn't come, then one has to bring equanimity to it, or to endure it until it vanishes. Anger is there. Anger, 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 anger. Anger is there. Oh, anger is there. It feels like this. Doesn't feel good. It's impersonal. I've been told that it comes and goes. Is it still there? Anger. What is it? Where is it? Where can it be found? Huh? It seems I do not feel it anymore. Is it gone? Release. I do not feel that angry anymore. Huh. All right. Cool. The effect of release. Feel it. You can be in front of someone telling you things, body being still, standing, looking, not reacting, and yet inside, boiling, right? Feeling the fire of not being content by what the other person is saying, right? And you know, okay, aversion, anger, fire, it's all there, ready to strike back. But you know, okay, if I act on that, it will not do me good. It will not do good for the other one person. Let's try to be mindful to do something. Stay grounded in the body with my breath. And so on. Mindfulness of the body, knowing what's going on in the mind, applying right speech. But you know, in order to implement all of these tools, let's say methods, you need to know what's going on. So you need to refine. And when you are in contact in a relation field, that means with another human being, and maybe you're not sensitive enough yet of energies between you two, interferences of energies. This is the more complex situation. So you develop mindfulness at home. When you go to bed, go slow. Feel tiredness. Feel walking. Feel breathing before going to bed. When you lie down in your bed, feel the breathing. Maybe what's going on in the mind, not the content, but just if there is activity, already planning, if there is worry about next day, about what's going to happen. This is why we sit. We bring forth mindfulness, trying to remember to observe, not judging. When you wash the sink, right? Moving, 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 maybe smelling, seeing, and knowing the heart, what kind of mood, maybe desire to do something else than just wash. Why? Because there are perceptions of what you are doing. Maybe it's not washing the sink, it's not meaningful, purposeful. I should do something else. Yeah. Something that brings me something. Just washing. What you're doing doesn't really matter, actually. You're ironing, washing. And then also look at this. Wanting to be, to become, to have a different status, or to get something from what you're doing. All of this you have to know. The roots of suffering, and the craving for sensual pleasures, craving to become, to not become. Right, that's it for today. Thank you for listening. And if there are any questions, please feel free to ask about that topic or other topic. Or if you want to go, you can go, of course. I talked about the negative aspects, like the 5 hindrances look very negative, right? But for when joy is present, you better to know that joy is present. Is there delight in joy? Is there self-identification with joy? Do you want joy to keep running? Is there desire to make that joy even longer? This we forget. We see it when there are the negative aspects, right? They feel bad. And at some point into the practice, this is for maybe further sensitivity. You need to see even in joy the suffering of it. Suffering into it, let's say not suffering into it, but how it also contains the unsatisfactoriness in it. So that joy, sadness, same thing, until they have no name, until they have no meaning, until the sameness in joy and in sadness. This is very difficult to understand, or let's say to even, I don't want to believe in that. Joy is something, and yeah, this is a bit paradoxical, because this is also one important factor in the path, joy. Okay, it's also one of the four Brahma Viharas, with compassion, love and kindness, equanimity. There is appreciative joy that should be cultivated, right? And this is also a wholesome state, yes. But further examination has to bring you to um, joy and sadness, same saying, or happiness. You can call it also happiness. Happiness and sadness, same saying. They come and go. So one needs to know all of the aspects in the heart, because we have to the tendency where just when there is joy, okay, we forget about mindfulness. We are happy. So some kind of we have the results of that until sadness comes back. And then, oh yeah, I have to remember mindfulness of the body because I'm suffering right now. All right, let's do the practice again. Practice is also when everything is good, when you are healthy. Well, at least if you want to be unbound, I mean. Also, when joy is there, okay, joy there, feels like this, comes and goes. Is there delight in joy? Because the delight in joy will bring you exactly that, suffering. Okay. So, of course, there are the five hindrances, but for further examination, investigation, then also what the positive mind states have also has to be also examined in the same way. That was just a short addendum. Have a good practice. Thank you for your good wishes. I'm closing this session. Thank you.